Hey everyone, welcome back to Count Me In, IMA's podcast about all things affecting the accounting and finance world. This is Adam Larson, and I'm joined by my co-host Mitch Roshong. As you know, the purpose of Count Me In is to bring you the latest perspectives and learnings on everything management accountants need to know. We strive to consistently share valuable insights from industry experts and those who are shaping our profession, and today's episode is no exception. We were delighted to have the opportunity to sit down with one of the great leaders in our industry, Ginger White. Ginger joined us in our office here in Montvale, New Jersey, and talked about what it takes to be a valued leader of the finance team. Ginger is the Global Chair Emeritus of IMA's Global Board of Directors and has a wealth of knowledge and expertise that we were lucky she was willing to share with us. Mitch, what else can you tell us about Ginger and your conversation with her for this episode?
Ginger is an executive-level financial management professional with over 20 years of experience. She spent 22 years at Cummins, an American Fortune 500 company that designs, manufactures, and distributes engines, filtration, and power generation products. There, she spanned roles from cost analyst through corporate purchasing finance director, acquiring and developing valuable skills along the way. She is a CMA, CSCA, Six Sigma Black Belt, and now serves as the Chief Operating Officer for the American Accounting Association. In our conversation, we talked a lot about Ginger's tenure at Cummins, the skills she noticed to be most valuable, and some of the best wins as a finance professional. This is a great episode for those interested in learning what it takes to create your own successful, long-lasting career. So let's go to the conversation. Take us back to when you first started in finance and business. Was it originally your intention to work at the same company for the majority of your career?
Actually, no, it was not. So when I actually joined Cummins in '97, I had been teaching Accounting 1 at a small college called Ivy Tech in Indiana, and I was teaching Accounting 1 and absolutely loved it. And they were changing the accreditation standards that required a master's degree or work experience equivalent, and I didn't have either. So I heard Cummins would pay for your master's degree. So my whole purpose to go there was to get my master's degree and quit and teach full time. So I spent 21 and a half years there before I left recently to go be the Chief Operating Officer at the American Accounting Association.
So was it always your long-term goal to achieve some kind of C-suite position, or did you think you'd be teaching your whole career?
Early on, after I'd been teaching Accounting 1, I really did think I would be teaching my entire career. However, when I got to Cummins and started really learning about cost accounting, was introduced to IMA, my path changed. And I think it's really important to always stay flexible to what life might bring you. And I would have never guessed that I would be C-suite at some point, and I'm really enjoying it in my new role.
And as far as the progression that you did have through Cummins, how did you develop and acquire the skills needed to kind of progress through all these different positions? What were some of the skills that really proved to be most valuable in supporting your recent role the most recent role you held there?
Actually, always being willing to learn and pushing yourself above and beyond what you ever think you can. So I had initially started getting my MBA immediately as I joined Cummins. And so I finished that in 2002. And then later I ended up getting my Master of Science in Strategic Finance in 2006. And I had always had on my individual development plan my CMA. And it wasn't until 2014 that I actually achieved that, which was very valuable because I had taken a role as a Six Sigma Master Black Belt, which was in the quality function. And the skills I gained there actually is very relevant to today because we're really moving into a world of data analytics. And when I did my Master Black Belt role, that's pretty much what we did. So then when I really wanted to move back into my corporate purchasing finance role at Cummins, I felt that I needed my CMA. So that was very valuable in 2014 when I achieved that. And then in June of 15 is when I moved back into the finance role in corporate purchasing finance.
How about the other side of things? What were some of the daily challenges of directing large growth plans and executing different strategic initiatives for Cummins?
That probably came mostly in the corporate purchasing finance role. When I joined the team, we had implemented prior to me joining something called the Strategic Finance Solution for Payables. And when I got there, there were lots of issues. The systems processes were failing daily. Suppliers were not getting paid as we promised and so forth. So I went to work immediately to fix that. And when I left, the individuals were getting paid within 5 days. So we still were able to extend our payment terms, which actually helped Cummins with their cash flow, but our suppliers were getting paid within, on average, 5 days. So I felt really proud of that because it actually helped some of our suppliers become debt-free, and it was a win-win-win.
And what do you attribute some of that success to? How were you able to overcome those challenges?
I really do attribute a lot of that to Six Sigma, my problem-solving skills, and then just getting everybody together and working collaboratively. It's a skill I've naturally somehow come about, and I think Six Sigma helped me do that because a lot of times people will just try to solve things from their perspective, and it's so much more powerful when you get cross-functional teams together to really talk and understand deeply what each issue might be in a given area. So that's what we did. We really looked at the IT solution, we looked at the payables process, we looked at all kinds of things to really determine what the real root cause was. We fixed those, we put controls in place to ensure the failures just stopped ongoing. And then we had good suppliers that we partnered with, and they held us accountable too, which was really powerful. So it was a great experience to really do that. And I have lots of those kind of areas where we've solved big issues over time.
Well, that was kind of my next question. I was going to ask if you had any particular success in addition to this, maybe looking back, that you were particularly proud of, is an accomplishment that still sticks out.
One of the other big areas that I'm extremely proud of leads back to when I was a Six Sigma black belt in the 2005-2006 timeframe. I led a project that was a finance recruiting project for Pat Ward, who was at the time the Engine Business Worldwide Controller and shortly thereafter became our CFO. What I did is I created this recruiting process for finance, and actually we started recruiting at the IMA Student Leadership Conference. So these students come and they're just wanting an opportunity, and the schools they attend most times are very small and they don't give big corporation attention. And so giving those kids the opportunity to have a corporate experience through an internship and ultimately full-time opportunities that they would have never gotten makes me very proud.
Another perfect segue for me, because my next question was kind of about the two different accounting associations that you're working with. So what kind of leadership do you think you bring to IMA and then your C-suite position coming from, a corporate environment?
For me, I see lots of collaboration opportunities between the two organizations, and I've seen that both at Cummins. We've partnered with some of our suppliers to do joint negotiations for lower cost. I see that opportunity possibly, and then just the whole handoff of the profession. So the professors start initially creating the future of the profession, and those students may not even know where they're going at that point, and they begin to start to plant those seeds of love for accounting and finance. They may go into public accounting, they may go into corporate management accounting type roles. And I think it's up to all of us to just make sure the profession is stronger in the future and they pivot to more data analytics. So I think both are really focusing in those areas, and I see lots of collaboration opportunities for both organizations. And I think both the leaders of both organizations they have the same passion, is to make the future better for all of those that tend to decide to go into that profession, whether it to be, a doctor to teach accounting or, to be a management accountant, a CFO, controller, or whatever the case might be. So I think it's important that we really look at that holistically instead of siloed.
So that's a good benefit for the association and the organizations. How about on the other side of it, where students, young professionals, what is the value of being a part of an association in furthering your career?
I just can't say enough good things because I'm a product of IMA for sure. And had I not had the experiences that I've had with IMA, I don't believe I would have ever had the opportunity to be the COO of the American Accounting Association. Networking is critical. You need to have people who actually tell you the truth about a situation instead of sugarcoat maybe how you're behaving or whatever the case might be, or just emulating other leaders that you watch as you grow. So I've had the opportunity to watch many chairs lead IMA over time. And so I feel like my year as chair was better because of them and watching their behaviors, either good or bad, and learn from that and try not to do the bad things and only, work on the good things. So just doing that and learning in a political environment, because that was probably one of my weaknesses, quite honestly, because I am very truthful and, I just want to get the job done and do it really well. And I've learned over time, politics matters. And still learning on that every day, right? How do you ensure that everybody is aware of things? And what order do you inform them of that, right? You start first the CEO and then so forth, right? Who needs to know next? And how do you empower people, by that? So I think it's really been extremely beneficial to serve in the various roles, like as chapter leader, all the way up through the president of the chapter and then at the council level. And was I always super confident at that time? Absolutely not, right? But it was a very nurturing environment. The people around me, the leaders, really wanted me to succeed and brought me in when I knew nothing. And I remember Ron Luther asking me to be the student rep at the council level, and I had no idea what that meant. And I even remember when I was told that I was the incoming president-elect, I had no idea. They just kept pushing me into roles. And probably because I would have feared it. And so I didn't have a choice. It's like, oh, wow, well, they think I can do this. So I think that's been super powerful for me. And then kind of helping others have those opportunities as well has been really rewarding. So getting other new employees at Cummins and pushing them when it may be uncomfortable, but then seeing them succeed, and that's really rewarding. So giving back is just easy after you've been given so much.
We've done a really good job looking back at a lot of your accomplishments and talking about things that you have done in your career. But I'm kind of curious, you're clearly a lifelong learner. So what other goals do you have for the future? What plans do you have and what's next?
So some of the things that I've thought about now that I'm part of the American Accounting Association, I'm really interested in obtaining my Certified Association Executive Certification. I feel like it will just further help that organization grow and develop over time as well. The other thing I really want to do is really support Christian Cusack. He's our incoming chair of IMA, and one of his big initiatives is corporate outreach. So I'm looking really forward to helping make his year phenomenal and even better than mine. And the other thing I'd like to do is really probably teach back in the classroom again from my original passion. All of the learning I've done, how can I give that back to the world, right? So it's a gift that I've been given, and if I can help others be more successful, then that makes me happy. So that would be probably my big next things to do.
Anything else you want to add? Any last remarks?
I'd just like to say thanks to IMA and all of our members for giving me the opportunity to be chair, because again, that was a great development opportunity for me. We had a lot of challenges, but oh my goodness, what an amazing year we've had. Growing from 111,000 members to almost 140,000 members, it's unprecedented. So kudos to all of the staff and all of the volunteers who made that happen, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
This has been Count Me In, IMA's podcast, providing you with the latest perspectives of thought leaders from the accounting and finance profession. If you like what you heard and you'd like to be counted in for more relevant accounting and finance education, visit IMA's website at www.imanet.org.